What if the baby stopped moving during the night? We're getting worse. Get out from the hospital. So he agreed. Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. Today's video is a continuation of the first part of my birth story. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, go check that out first, then come back to this one. Let's get started. When we arrived at the hospital, they took me to the delivery room. The nurse gave me a gown to wear. After that, they put an IV in my arm and took blood. They also put monitors on me. Then they gave me a small container and asked me to be in it for 24 hours so they could test it. After that, the doctor came. She asked me many questions and checked the monitoring results. She said, "You are not going to give birth today. Tomorrow, we will need to do an ultrasound so we can see more clearly." She also said that I was 31 weeks pregnant and hopefully we could reach 34 weeks. That will be better because the baby will be more mature than at 31 weeks. They knew I might give birth early. They needed to give me 2 sterile shots 24 hours apart to help my son's lungs get ready. After that, many different doctors came in and out, and a lot of nurses too. They put the monitors on me every 2 hours. The NICU doctor came and explained their job and told us they will be with us in the delivery room and what they will do for the baby. He also had us sign documents saying we agree about anything he said. Then we met the anesthesiologist. They introduced themselves and asked me questions like if I smoke, drink alcohol, or use drugs, of course. So everyone asks you a million questions at the hospital anyways. Then they explained the epidural, natural birth, and C-section, and they want me to be prepared for any situation. So the whole day was just the doctor after doctor. The next day I had breakfast and the nurse came to take me to the ultrasound. I went to the ultrasound room and lay down on the bed. The nurse checked my belly and took all photos that they need. By the way, every day they are a new doctor, so nobody wanted to take the risk to make a decision. They don't want to make any decision. So the doctor that day came to talk to us about what she saw. She said the baby was not growing the right way and had stopped growing at 28 weeks. She showed us the screen and said that the baby had a lot of abscess that were not supposed to be there. She showed us the umbilical cord and it has many knots. Then she checked the placenta and found many abscess in it too. She said I might have a problem with the placenta, which is why they need to do an ultrasound every day to see if things were getting better or worse. When I finished the 24 hours urine test, they tested and found out that I have a preeclampsia. They discovered that the protein was leaving my body in the urine instead of going to the baby. That whole day, the nurses and doctors were coming in and out. My day was just monitoring and tests. Then we reached to the 3rd day, which was Friday. They transferred me to another room and wanted me to stay there until I gave birth. They were hoping that I could reach 34 weeks, but that time I was still 31 weeks and a few days, almost 32 weeks. That morning I had breakfast again and the nurse took me to another ultrasound. Everything looks the same as the day before. The doctor said nothing had changed. When I went back to my room, I asked the nurse when I could go home because the doctor said nothing had changed. She said they would probably send me home the next day. So that day I was boring, the same routine, monitoring and tests. But we were happy because we thought we were leaving the next day. The next day was Saturday. On the weekends, there are fewer doctors and nurses, not a lot, and usually only one weekend doctor. I started my day with breakfast like always, and the nurse took me to another ultrasound. This time, the weekend doctor did the ultrasound. She kept looking at the screen and said, "I don't understand." At that moment, I almost felt like I was going to pass out. She said the baby was very active, which is good, but she didn't understand why there were still many absence. We asked her again when we could go home because nobody knew when I would give birth. The doctor seemed hesitant. She said I could go home, but it will be better if I stay in the hospital. I told her that if nothing was happening and they didn't know when I will give birth, I preferred to go home. I explained that I had come to the hospital in a rush, very stressed and scared. I told her I needed to go home to relax and understand what was happening, and that I could come back in the next day, which is Sunday. I don't mind. I can go just home for just one night to understand what's going on around me. Then I can come back. I don't mind with all that. My luggage is already done. I can come to the hospital. She said, "What if something happens? What if the baby stopped moving during the night?" But I told her I had already spent 3 nights in the hospital, and during the night they only checked my blood pressure. They didn't even put the monitor on me overnight. So, which is fact. They don't know if the baby moving during the night, which is they check it just during the day every 2 hours. like if the baby moving or not. But how about during the night? So it's the same thing. They just, I don't know what they want, to be honest. So then she said something I didn't like. She told me not to blame myself if something happened. Come on, that's not like, you're not supposed to tell people like these things. Like, that's all our souls, it's under God's hands. It's not my hand or your hand or nobody's hands, which is kind of bad to tell me that. If the baby lives, alhamdulillah. If the baby returns to his creator, alhamdulillah as well. That is my belief. Finally, she told me to think about it, and I told my husband that I did not want to stay in the hospital anymore. I needed to go home. I need to breathe like fresh air and think, which is stressful. Which is, I don't like what she said, but I said, like, you know what? Whatever happened, it happened. Just I need to sign whatever document that she can give me. I just need to get out from the hospital. So he agreed. Later, the nurse came and tried again to convince us to stay, but we decided to leave. They gave us papers to sign, and we left the hospital. Finally, we left the hospital. When we got home, I took a long warm shower, organized my thoughts, and packed more clothes because even though I do have clothes before, but I have to pack more because I don't know until when I will give birth. Because from 31 weeks until 34 weeks, so you have to, I have to pack more clothes and stuff. The next day was Sunday. We woke up with a good energy, had breakfast with my mother-in-law, and then we went back to the hospital. When we arrived at the lobby, we saw the doctor talking on the phone with my regular doctor. If you guys didn't watch the first half, you can go watch it. So I used to have another doctor. They just sent me to this hospital, so I'm talking with this doctor right now. So we heard her say, "Never mind, they're here." And she hung up the phone. She looked at us and she said, "Oh, you came back." We told her, when we say something, we keep on our words. So for us, if we say that we're coming, we're coming. It's just it's not in our hand that we're not gonna come. For us, we understand what you guys said, but just to give us time to think about everything. But right now we're free, we can come. So right now I'm ready 100% mentally, physically. You told me to give birth tomorrow, you told me to give birth next month or next year, I don't mind. So just to be ready for what we said, show. Again and again, the nurse took me back to the room and we start the process all over again. I hate that. They took a lot of blood of testing because they tested this the first day and they tested when I enter again to the hospital, which is fine, but I don't have a lot of blood. So they took a lot of blood for testing, as I said, and they tried to put an IV in my arm. I told them I didn't want the IV yet. So they asked the doctor and she said it was okay for now because they want to leave the IV until I give birth. You don't know when I give birth, that's the question. I'm still just 31 weeks, almost 32 weeks, which is I don't know when I will give birth, and nobody knows. They put the monitors on me again and took me to another ultrasound. This time they found things which is a lot worse than before. The weekend doctor also invited another doctor who was visiting the hospital for training. He looked at the ultrasound and said he would like to examine the placenta and test it after birth. After that, I went back to my room and the routine continued. Nobody knew exactly when I will give birth, but they were still hoping for 34 weeks. Monday came. The weekdays, doctors returned. I had breakfast, went to another ultrasound, and the doctor said the same thing. They were still hoping I could reach 34 weeks. The day were all the same routine, monitoring, tests, and waiting all the time. So my husband stayed with me the whole time and even took time off from work. But after a few days, I told him he should go back to work because we didn't know when the baby would come, and every day was the same. So the next day, which is Tuesday, he went to work early in the morning. I woke up, had breakfast, and went for another ultrasound, usual. After the ultrasound, the doctor looked at the image carefully and told me that the thing were getting worse. She said I will need to give birth today or tomorrow. I was shocked, to be honest with you guys. I asked if I could, to be tomorrow, because I was scared and I was only 32 weeks and 1 day pregnant. So I thought even 1 more day would help. She said if we wait until tomorrow, I will need to stay on continuous monitoring overnight. Then she asked if I had eaten. I said yes. She said we will need to wait 8 hours before the delivery. Thanks God I had eaten, because otherwise they will take me immediately and my husband was still at work. She explained that they might try a natural birth with an epidural, but contractions may be hard on the baby heart. I told her that it will probably end with a C-section anyways, so I prefer to just have the C-section from the start. So I called my husband and told him to come back to the hospital. I also called my parents to tell them. The hardest part is not giving birth. The hardest part is not having your mother with you, the person who holds your hand and makes you feel strong. But alhamdulillah for everything. I had time to think, relax, and prepare myself. The nurses started coming in more often because they knew I will give birth soon. They put the IV back in, took more blood tests, and the anesthesiologist came again to confirm the questions she had asked before. That day I was lucky. The doctor who was visiting the hospital for training heard that I would give birth that day. He asked if he could perform the delivery because he wanted to examine the placenta afterward. Finally, it was time for my delivery. My nurse came and gave me a hospital robe and a hair cover. She told my husband that if he hadn't eaten yet, he should eat before going into the operating room because sometimes husbands pass out. Which is good actually, which is a good idea. You need to eat before that. Then we walked together to the operating room. The nurse told my husband to wait in the waiting room until they called him to come inside. Meanwhile, I was with the doctor, the nurses, and the anesthesia doctor. They put the needle in my bag. It was hard. You really need patient. So you need to be patient. Then I lay down on the bed. The anesthesia doctor kept poking my arm and my leg to check if I could still feel anything. She asked me too many times if I felt. I said yes. Then I heard her tell the doctor, "You have 1 hour." I said, "No, wait, I can still feel." She said, "Oh, just calm down. The baby is almost here." I said, "Oh, wow, okay." It was funny. So because I didn't feel nothing that moment, to be honest. So they called my husband and brought him in when my baby was already open. So when he took the baby out, he came to life. And of course, he said, "Hi" with a lot of pee and the scream. So the only thing that he did to them, just to be on the doctor, and was screaming. After that, it looks like he stopped breathing. So the doctor took him to the NICU doctor and put oxygen on him and did the things he needed to do, to the baby. Then it actually hurts when you see your baby come out of you and they take him away right away. It's a very hard feelings, but alhamdulillah for everything. So the nurses cleaned me and took me to my room. After that, they took me to see my baby finally. It was such a beautiful feeling when I saw him, even though he was in the incubator. Then I went back to my room. By the way, I was starving. I had eaten at 8 a.m. on the day I went into labor, and it was already 8 a.m. the next day. They told me I could drink water and have some crackers, which is crazy, but Then the lactation specialist came and brought me the pumping machine and showed me how to use it. That's why I told you guys, even though I took the classes, I didn't really need them because the nurses were with me from the beginning, showing me everything. So here we go. We started another hard part, which is pumping. I had to pump every 2 hours, and of course nothing comes out the first time. We need a little time. So I spent the night pump, sleep, and I slept very uncomfortably because I'm a person who likes to sleep curled up, like the number 4. So it was really hard for me. Then the next day came.